matters, and we're going to the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob. They've just announced what they call a Ghost Monday lockdown. All right, now they've declared a shutdown of activities in the southeast every Monday until their leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is released. In a statement released by Ipob on Friday through their spokesperson, Ima Powerful, they state that Monday's lockdown was to be tagged Ghost Monday. While announcing the declaration of what they describe as Ghost Monday on Friday, the spokesperson threatened that there will be huge consequences against anyone found flouting the order. In his words, and quoting from the statement, nobody should attempt to flout this directive, as doing so may come with huge consequences, as anybody flouting this order is taking a grave risk. This declaration takes effect from Monday, the 9th of August, 2021. From that day, Biafra land will be on lockdown every Monday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. until our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is released. We urge Biafrans to be prepared, because we will no longer fold our arms while our leader, who is fighting for the liberation of the oppressed indigenous nationalities in Nigeria, is languishing in detention. We are going to cripple Nigerian economy until they free him. Consequently, all institutions, public and private, transport companies, schools, banks, markets, airports and seaports in Biafra land must shut down every Monday beginning from August the 9th. People are to remain indoors to register their concern over the fate of our leader and the rest of all agitators languishing in various security detentions. End of quote. All right, there's been a series of reactions trailing this particular declaration by Ipob since it was released on Friday. Let's not forget that Ipob, as it is, was proscribed and declared a terrorist group by the federal government of Nigeria in the year 2017. And their leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the separatist, is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony in connection to his agitation to secede the southeast region. And also he was recently rearrested 4 years after he jumped bail and fled the country. Okay, so gentlemen, here we are, with another warning coming from Ipob.
It's okay by me.
You think so?
Yes. Every human being, every Nigerian has a right to. You have a right to protest. You have a right to register your dissatisfaction, on any issue. But that same right stops where someone else's right begins. You cannot coerce people to protest. You cannot be violent, because if you do, then you are incurring the wrath of the law. They are free. Those who, I don't believe in the ideals of Ipob, but I don't believe in the ideals of Ipob. But I equally believe that they have a point in the argument. But like I always say, their methodology, the violent disposition in addressing this is where is our point of departure. But having said that, they must do their protest in, along.
Let me quickly interject, Mr. Osangbe, because for me it looks like you are saying two different things.
No, no.
On the first hand, you agree with Ipob's stand, right?
No.
It is their right to protest, according to what you said.
Stand.
But in protesting,
right,
you also mentioned the fact that you shouldn't trample on another person's right. All right, so let's take a look at this Ghost Monday lockdown.
Yeah.
According to Ipob,
right,
asking people not to open up for business or even step out of their homes
exactly,
against their will.
And so that's the problem.
Okay.
So I now say, if I have a business in the East and I do not believe in what Ipob is doing, and then I have a right to open my shop.
But how do you open your shop when threats have gone ahead?
No, that is the point. That's the point I'm making. I need to now land. I started with the proposition.
Okay, because I need to be clear on that.
So where their right to protest ends is where the other person's right begins. Now they must not coerce me. They must not be violent. and this is where government and security operatives come in.
Okay.
That they must protect me, that I have a fundamental right to open my shop.
Who chooses not to?
Because I choose not to follow their approach. Don't you get it? So, can the police protect me? Can the security agencies protect me? That is where they must now come in. Now, the question is, what are the governors of the Southeast doing? You are there, obviously looking docile, and somebody, an unknown quantity, a group already banned, at giving directives in a state where you are the chief security officer. It does not tell well at all. Okay, but that does not diminish the fact that some of the things that they are protesting about is not just the Nnamdi Kanu detention. Some of us believe that, okay, fine, you've held him, but please now let's the whole thing follow due process. Let's let him have his day in court. He should have access to his lawyer. That's at last week Friday, he doesn't have access to his lawyers. That is wrong, absolutely very wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that the governors must now rise up to their responsibility. I expect them to say, no, hang on, you cannot disrupt the economy of this state. I don't know if you get it. You cannot. You cannot. You don't do that. It's an infringement on the rights of other people who don't believe in that cause. There are so many of them who don't believe in that cause. And they don't believe in the cause because of the approach and attitude of members of Ipob.
Okay, all right, I hear you, Mr. Osangbi. Whether those in the southeastern part of Nigeria believe in the cause of Ipob or not, if we take it from the standpoint of what has happened previously, other lockdowns as declared by Ipob, how successful has that been? We have seen instances where the whole place is deserted, the markets are closed down, even though people do not agree in totality with
so
Ipob.
They are afraid because of
everybody's
backlash.
Exactly. And then how much trust really do they have in the security operatives, like you said, to guarantee they'll be safe? But anyways, let's hear it from Chief Officer.
Well, patience. The Ipob again. I feel that is why the Ipob, the Nnamdi Kanu arm of the agitation has not been very successful, and that's why it has not been able to attract very highly intelligent and intellectuals to the group. And when you begin to see things like this, you want to find a country, you want to start a country, you want a country to be given to you. And already you are making people feel very uncomfortable. When they finally move into this country and you take leadership of this country, how secure would they be? How comfortable can they become in their own country? So that's why the Ipob, the arm, not just because, don't forget, the Biafra didn't start with Nnamdi Kanu. It started with the late Odumoku Ojukwu, and Wazurike picked it up, left it off, and Nnamdi Kanu picked it up, and he began to assemble some miscreants who begin to foment trouble. You don't make that kind of blanket statement in a place where someone can barely fit in a day. Of what use is Nnamdi Kanu's detention to an average woman whose children cannot go to school in the southeast? Of what use is it to a man who was flying, who was picked up in Kenya, who was flying first class, who was flying private jet, and was enjoying himself, who didn't care about whether the poor person in Abia, where he comes from, can barely exist? And we want to worsen his situation by asking the person to stay at home, not to open shop and do business. So these are the things that this is the reason why a lot of Igbo people, e.g. Mazi Tochukwu Ezukama, do not simply agree with the modus operandi of Nnamdi Kanu. So it doesn't tell well for a country that you want to have. You need to make people feel safe. At this point, people are not feeling safe. People now feel safe with the Nigerian police rather than the security arm of the Ipob. All right, people are not feeling safe with the is it ECN? Is that what they call it?
Yes, Eastern Security Network.
Yes,
people are not feeling safe with them. They believe that they ferment trouble. They do that, and it's not as if they believe in the cause. That's why they want to stay at home, like Peter said. It is for the fear of attack, for the fear of people coming in and vandalizing, looting their businesses and causing mayhem. That is the reason why you say in your own statement that those actions, those strikes in the past have been largely successful. It wasn't successful. The fear of attack and for the inability of the federal security agencies to protect the common man. Because if we have police, if you have the security agencies coming in and reassuring people, and that message is accepted, because one thing is about police coming out to say, don't listen to them, and you go out and you get attacked and nothing happens. But if they see that you cannot attack people and get away with it, people would brace up, will be emboldened and go against whatever Ipob directive it is that they are giving. So I feel that is in a way trying to destroy the already struggling economy of the Southeast. You could see that in Lagos, the Lagos IGR is almost bigger than the 5 states of the Southeast. So that's how bad it is. The economy of the region is already troubled. Is in the clutches. It's almost a basket case. But people within that environment are still trying to drag it further down, which is not very appropriate.
Okay, all right. Now, can we talk about Ipob a little bit more, gentlemen? Ipob, for years now, has been a proscribed group in Nigeria. So, for a group to be proscribed, you would imagine that such a group, would not have so much influence, so much power, to carry on, after such a declaration. But in the case of Ipob, what we're seeing is the opposite. They seem to have like a hold on the eastern people, especially in the southeast. They've become more popular over the years. Their influence, of course, you can't sweep that away, because a lot of people seem to tilt towards them, whether you like it or not. Yes, that's where I'm going. The reason for that.
The reason why that is happening is because of the poor management of the crisis by the president. If I were the president, I would handle it.
What crisis are we talking about specifically?
The Ipob
issue.
Yes, the
Is it their clamor for cessation?
Yes. Hold on. You see, it seemed to make Nnamdi Kanu more popular. Before then, Nnamdi Kanu was existing. He was making, his agitations and all that, but he was actually ignored, and they didn't make him popular. But the typical President Buhari's attitude of, wanting to, the military nature, wanting to show that he's in charge and all that, he mismanaged it. Now, I wouldn't do that. Now, the presidency, and indeed the president, equally gave them a leverage by, like I said, what are they asking for? They do no longer feel safe again in Nigeria. They do no longer feel, they do no longer believe in the one Nigeria. Why? Because of the political appointments that the president makes. The people feel marginalized. The people feel alienated. The people feel unwanted. So at each point in time, the action of the president and the presidency make them feel not to be wanted. If you have a child and each time you make the child to feel unwanted, the child is apparently going to misbehave. That is the case here. So the people are saying, if the utterances of the president have not helped matters. One, the recent one was the dot issue. Very disappointing. The other one was 95% against 5%. Why he would develop areas that voted for 95% as against 5%. You don't say that. That's not what a leader says. So the actions and inactions of the presidency has given rise or impetus to the activities of Ipob. That's it.